Okay, so in the previous class, we defined what is teamwork. Teamwork is a collaborative effort of a group of people to achieve a common goal or objective. So you understood what is teamwork. Team means a group of people. Work means they are working together. Why they are working together? In order to achieve some common objective or goal. So these things are important. Common objective, common goal is important, and a group of people who work in a collaborative manner. Collaborative and cooperative. Collaborate means to work together in a way where each person is assigned some role or responsibility so that at the end of the day or at the end of your effort, your particular goal or objective is achieved. So, what are the things which are required for an effective teamwork? Right. So, the first thing is clear goals and objectives. Why this is important? Because unless you have an idea of what you are going to do, you won't be able to complete that thing. So every person, every member of the group should have a clear idea of the goals and objectives to be achieved. Okay, and they must be understood and shared by all team members so they may remain focused and well directed towards achieving that goal. So, having a common purpose will help you align your efforts, focus energy towards achieving the desired outcome. Otherwise, what will happen? Suppose you don't have a clear goals and objectives, then what will happen? The same work may be repeated by one more than two individuals. So, that will be a waste of effort. Finally, same thing being done by two people, right? So one people would have been sufficient for that. So the thing is that your objective should be clear before establishing any teamwork, effective teamwork. So for that, every person should know about the final aim or goals and objectives so that there is no waste of energy, no waste of time, and the team remains focused in its approach towards those goals. Second thing is open communication. Now, these things are interrelated, right? First thing is you should have a clear idea or goal. Then that thing needs to be communicated to each and everyone in a group. Every person should, be able to share ideas, to, give a constructive feedback uh, for the success of the team. So that is very important. Uh, uh, so, open and clear channel of communication is required for effective teamwork because otherwise if you shut people down in this information channel or communication channel is shut, then there may be certain important points which you may miss and that will result in a failure of your effort finally. So open communication is the second important point or highlight of effective uh, what do you call the teamwork. This is open communication. That means there should be active listening. You must listen to everyone's ideas. Then only you can get the best one. Otherwise, this may compromise your mission of achieving your goal. Third is roles and responsibilities. Now, every person cannot do everything. If the roles and responsibility for each member should be well defined based on their strengths, skills, and expertise. Like a team will, for example, if you take the example of a cricket team, so now it cannot be that you have 11 batsmen batting from number 1 to 11, and all of them are the best ones. So you cannot make an effective team by having all 11 batsmen. You need to have a combination of everything you require. You require bowlers, you also require a wicket keeper, then you require some who can do a big hitting, some who can defend, some who can take wickets at crucial juncture. And you also need good what do you call that, fielders who can save runs for you and who can take catches also. So so every team member is important, and everyone must be assigned certain roles and responsibilities. uh, a batsman has to go and score runs, a bowler has to take wickets, and the fielders have to stop those runs, right? Similarly, the wicket keeper has to keep wickets. Okay, so every person, it cannot be that the batsman takes over the role of a bowler, and the bowler starts coming at one or first or second down. So then that will compromise the mission of the team. So there are expectations from the batsmen that they will go and score runs. There are expectations from bowlers that they will restrict the score or they will take wickets at crucial juncture. And so everyone understands their contribution towards the team's success, right? So for a team to be successful, every person has to fit into his role and responsibility. If any of the members doesn't fit into that role, or doesn't fulfill his responsibilities. Suppose your team batted your batsmen, they batted very well, you put a huge score on the scoreboard. Then it next comes the responsibility of the bowlers to defend that score. And suppose your batsmen did well, your bowlers also are also doing well, they are creating chances of taking wickets, but your wicket keeper has put down three or four catches and one or two stumps he has missed. So this will compromise the team's prospects and also the success of the team. So every person should be given a role and responsibility based on their strength, skill, and expertise. Okay, this is the important point for ensuring effective, uh, you know, teamwork. The next is respect and trust. Now, this is an important for a team, important aspect of effective teamwork. You need to build a culture of respect, trust, and mutual support, because a team is not just one or two members. They may be important, but they are not the complete team. So you have to have that bonding, that trust, that mutual respect amongst all the members, so that they recognize and appreciate each other's contributions, and they create an environment where everyone feels valued and empowered to express themselves. This is very important, because if you give the person his space, his respect, the due respect, and that will create a strong chain of respect, trust, and faith amongst the team member, and which is very important for the team to bind together, the team to achieve success. Okay, so respect and trust is another important feature of effective teamwork. Next is collaboration and cooperation. Collaboration means, why do you make a team? Because a single person cannot win, or a single person cannot accomplish the goals. Okay, so you need a group of people, and every person must work in harmony with others so that they can work together. The important point is that though I may be a good worker, but I cannot do all things on my own. I may be good in betting, but I cannot ball as well as I can control everything. So in a team, you require collaboration. Collaboration means working together. We need to collaborate, that I do this, you do this, and then finally we achieve our um, aim. Okay, and we also require cooperation among team members, so that uh, we can achieve the best depending on the strengths and skills of a particular person, so that you make best use of the strengths and skills. Like in a family also, you are working in the field. Suppose you are plucking the apples, and you are sending them to the market for sale. So suppose there are 10 members in your family, so all 10 will not have the same kind of physical strength. Some will be old, some will be young, some will be uh, uh, you know powerful, and some will have stamina, some will be agile, some will be able to climb the trees. So the job is distributed in this way so that you make the maximum or you make the best use of the abilities of each person. Suppose there is a thin fellow, he cannot just carry the uh, crate of or that filled crate or that basket of apples. So he is thin, or he or she cannot carry that load. So you must give him a job which he or she can do better. He can climb the trees easily and pluck the apples. Similarly, if there is a heavy person who is was put on a lot of weight, so that fellow may be useful in carrying those baskets. If you assign him the role of plucking apples, then that person may fall off the tree or break branches or cause harm to himself or others or damage the trees. So instead of achieving your goal, you are creating unnecessary problems. Then all energy will be diverted towards something else. So that is what you have to collaborate and cooperate. Each person will have a set of abilities. So you have to make maximum use. No person will be uniformly attributed. He or she may have different abilities and different qualities. So you have to make the best use of every person who fits into your team. So that can happen only when you have the spirit of collaboration and cooperation. Okay, so collaboration and cooperation is very important. Uh, Even in your families, also, you see that someone who is good in cooking should take up that thing, and someone is good in for the jobs related to your orchards. So they take up those jobs, and that is how you can complete the tasks. Okay. Then next is flexibility and adaptability. This is very important because these issues will come up when you deal with people. There are certain issues which you have to take care of, right? So there may be suppose you are not used to something, and then you may have to perform that role also. So you must be adaptable and flexible in the changing circumstances, or if there are unexpected challenges. Suppose you have been given the task of plucking the apples off the branches, but suddenly there is a requirement, and your brother has to go to someone somewhere else, and his job was to carry those baskets to the roadside. So now this role has to be taken over by someone, and this is assigned to you. So now you should not be rigid and should not start fighting or start quarreling, creating unnecessary issues. So you must adapt to the changing circumstances or unexpected challenges. You must take up those with the great flexibility, and you must you must adjust yourself, adjust your plans and strategies as the problems come. Suppose you have picked all the apples, you have plucked all the apples, and now there is a sudden rain has started. So now this is a new circumstance, a new challenge. So how do you handle it? You don't start blaming each other that I told you don't pluck today. The weather was saying this. So that will result in unnecessary wastage of time, and your resources will also be wasted. So instead of just accusing each other, blaming each other, we should look for solutions, and we should cater to those unexpected challenges with flexibility and creativity and innovation, right? You may suggest something like that: we cover these apples here, or we take them to a nearby place which is better and safe for this is how you can get out of this situation. So flexibility and adaptability is an important aspect of good teamwork. So you must be acceptable and flexible in response to changing circumstances or unexpected challenges. But you must encourage innovation and creativity. Okay, uh, that's what flexibility and adaptability means. Next is conflict resolution. So now you may have certain issues, cropping up within the team. There may be disagreements, there may be conflicts. Okay, so so you have to address them constructively and प्रोएक्टिवली। जैसे आपको लगता है कि दो भाई आपने उनको काम दिया है, भाई एक जो है वो एप्पल भरेगा, दूसरा ले जाएगा, पर दोनों में लगभग झगड़ा होने वाला है। तो ये नहीं कि वो देखते रहो और जब वो एक दूसरे को ठीक ठाक कर दें तब आप जाके उनको झगड़ा सुलझाओ। नो, यू मस्ट act proactively. If you are if you are seeing a situation is going to worsen, so you must try to interrupt proactively. आपको लग रहा है कि ये झगड़ने वाले हैं या बात बिगड़ने वाली है, तो इंस्टेड ऑफ जस्ट वेटिंग एंड वॉचिंग, यू नीड टू यू नो इंटरवीन proactively पहले ही, right? And you must encourage open dialogue, active listening, and compromise to find mutually acceptable solutions and maintain positive relationship within the team. Because we are human beings, certain issues will definitely crop up. So the wisdom lies in trying to dissolve those conflicts, try to dissolve those conflicting situations by arriving at a mutually acceptable solution, so that there remains a positive relationship within the team. Why it is important? Because otherwise, if there are two members who are fighting with each other, every time they will create problems. And what will happen then? The focus of the entire group will turn away from the aim or objective towards this conflict resolution. It will result in wastage of time. It will result in wastage of energy, and finally, it may also compromise your mission as a team. So conflict resolution is very important. It cannot be that everyone will be happy and very satisfied. So there will be dissatisfaction. There will be issues within the groups. Okay, because this is human nature. So you have to cater to those things, and you have to arrive at mutually accepted solutions. So this conflict resolution is very important. You must address conflicts or disagreements constructively, and proactive is another important word, because in when the situation goes out of control, or uh, the things get weird, then it won't be under your control. You will have to call the police. If the people, if the persons who are in conflict, they cross those lines, so you must interrupt proactively, so that you can dilute that situation. So instead of landing into a major problem or major issue, you can solve that problem proactively before it gets out of hand. Okay. The next is effective decision making. That is important thing. uh, Decision making is very important. There will be junctures where you have to decide something, so you must consider everyone's voice and opinion, and you must use consensus to arrive at a particular decision, taking everyone's views into account, thereby building a consensus and using the democratic approaches to make decisions which are supported by the majority. Okay. So this is last point is accountability, that each member must be accountable for their actions. It's not that you have been given a role, you have been given a responsibility, and then you just pass your time and don't complete your task in time. So then that person must be held accountable for their actions, because what will happen if one person does not complete his given task in the given time, then the entire mission fails. So the people, they must be held accountable for their actions, commitments, and performance. Okay, you must set clear expectations. Clear expectations का मतलब ये हुआ कि you must tell them that this is expected of you, कि आपको ये काम करना है भाई, इतने टाइम तक करना है, और इसको complete करना है. So that is how you can ensure that everyone takes responsibility for their assigned task. And last but not the least is celebrating success. So once you have achieved your target, then it's very important that you must celebrate your achievements, uh, the milestones and successes as a team. Why it is important to celebrate? Because that will create a positive reinforcement or positive affirmation that will motivate the members to continue their effort and commitment in the future. For example, suppose your father has asked you to pluck or pick all the apples from the orchard. So now you have completed, and finally, it's not that you just go and there is no celebration, no enjoyment. So that will give people a kind of negative thoughts. They will start, next time if someone asks them to do the same thing, then they will hesitate, right? But if you celebrate, like, even small celebrations, like preparing something which all of you like, in the home, which is available, whatever thing is available. So this celebrating success is very important, and that's how you get a motivation to continue the same effort in future also. Okay, so these are the things which are